Hey, you're listening to Wrestling Roundup on FreeFM 89.0 and ArrowFM in the Wire Rapper. As always, I'm Grady, and live on Skype we got Josh.
No.
We got to get through results from Greatest Royal Rumble and then roll straight into Backlash predictions. We're just going to start. First match, Greatest Royal Rumble, John Cena, Triple H.
It was a great psychological match. It told a great story. And overall, I just thought it was a great match. I thought it was a really good match.
For a match with no build, it was the longest non-Rumble match. It worked its butt off to be a good match. The two of them could go for an hour. The cards lined up perfectly, and it was a good match, as you said. There's nothing much more you can say about it, right? It was a good match. There was no consequences, left, right, or center. John Cena walks out to make everyone feel happy at the start of the show.
The two of them are two of the best in the company at telling a story in the ring. And that's what they did.
Yeah. Even if they had no story to tell at the start, they made one up and went through it. Cruiserweight Championship. Cedric Alexander defeats Kalisto.
It was a good little match. That was one nasty drop kick that Cedric delivered to Kalisto, but Kalisto delivered one heck of a Spanish fly off the top of the top corner. I thought it was a good match.
I feel like coming out and saying that these two cruiserweights have chemistry together is just a bit of a broken record when you're talking about the cruiserweight division. It feels like everybody has chemistry with everybody. Obviously, the styles are gonna perfectly align anyway, but I think Cedric and Kalisto could go multiple times, see multiple matches, and still be amazed by what they're gonna pull out. I don't expect them to, per se.
Yeah.
I don't quite know what's in Cedric's future.
I think Buddy Murphy is in Cedric's future. As far as Kalisto, yeah, I definitely got vibes while watching the match of Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio.
Mm-hmm.
The way they would innovate on the fly, and just the way it just seemed like it was their styles seemed to mesh in a way that seemed to make it a great match.
Mm-hmm. And we're already on to the next one. Bray Wyatt, Matt Hardy, they're your new Raw Tag Team Championship champions.
To the surprise of exactly 0 people.
Yeah, you know, the Raw titles were never
I'll
gonna
get
go
that back. To the surprise of 2 people.
Which 2?
Cesaro and Sheamus.
To be fair, I don't know if even they were surprised.
Well, in character, they have to be surprised.
Yeah, it was the Raw Tag Team Championships. It was always going to stay on Raw. Wyatt and Hardy, even I think if it wasn't against Cesaro and Sheamus, I still would have put my money on Wyatt and Hardy here. The team's new, the team's fresh. They're doing great things out of the bat. Whatever we're meant to call them.
Yeah, whether it's the Woken Warriors, the Leader of Worlds. But we're definitely getting a small little run, and then we'll see where they go from there after that.
I give it a month.
It wouldn't surprise me a bit.
Jeff Hardy, immediately after, successfully defends his title against Jinder Mahal.
With one of the biggest botches of the evening.
It was hilarious. I don't know what you're talking about. It's an entertainment show, right? I was thoroughly entertained.
And I put 60-40 on Jeff. The botch. Because he jumped without even checking to make sure that Jinder was even standing up to be able to catch him.
Yeah, he just went for it.
Yeah. Jinder was not even standing up yet when he started his rotation. He barely got standing up before Jeff hit the mat. And then Jinder, because the script said so, fell down.
I definitely put the botch itself, as you said, 60-40. In terms of what happened after Jeff missed the move, I put thoroughly on Jinder. You could have played that off. You could have done something other than just looking like a goof. And then having the commentary team explain it about like the shockwaves on the mat hit your knees. Pick them up, punch them a little bit, set up the spot again, There's other ways around it. And the Bludgeon Brothers defeating the Usos to defend their SmackDown Tag Team Championships in 5 minutes as expected.
Yet there's a surprise of actually 0 people this time.
Even the Usos knew they weren't going to win this one.
Yeah. It was a good little match. It served its purpose. It got the tag team title rematch out of the way, and we can move on, and the Bludgeon Brothers can start their reign of terror over the SmackDown tag team division.
I know I wanted to... It'll slightly spoil the main event, but we'll get there sooner or later. Somebody was asking for a photo of the Wyatt family, ex-Wyatt family members, plus the Hardys together, because they have so much gold between them. They have the Raw tag, SmackDown tag, US, the Greatest Royal Rumble.
The 4 years ago, would you have imagined that Jeff Hardy and Matt Hardy would be back in the WWE, would both be champions, but would not be holding the same championship?
No.
I wouldn't have even imagined they would be in the WWE right now.
No. And I'd argue the same thing even 6 months ago. Would I expect all 4 members of the original Wyatt family to be having gold, only 2 of them sharing it? The answer would have been, oh hell no, even though Braun's obviously not going to be defending his title. I don't think. But we've got to get there before we can talk about that. So Seth Rollins retaining the Intercontinental Championship.
That was actually a unique way to retain it, but at the same time, I have to call Finn Balor an idiot.
Storyline idiot or real idiot?
Let's go with both, because you see somebody jump onto the ladder while you're trying to reach for the championship, you just stand there dumbfounded and let him climb up and grab the title. That is stupid beyond belief.
Yeah, I'll definitely give that to you. It was still we're overusing this phrase, a fun little match. It was a good ladder match. Everyone came out of it looking good. We'll see what Seth does at Backlash. Rollins Balor don't seem to be too mad at each other. WWE Championship, AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura, the King of Nutshot.
They went with option 3.
we brought up the option.
Yeah. No contest that continues to feud to Backlash.
Where we finally get the, I'm gonna assume, match of the series.
Yeah, I assume it'll be the end, because it's stipulation. They've added a stipulation to it.
That's generally the full stop.
Yeah, it's basic. They called it a no disqualification, but basically it's a no hold barred match. Let's be honest.
There's like 50 different ways to call something a no disqualification match.
Yeah. But yeah. So low blows will be legal.
We'll get there. We'll get there when we talk about Backlash. But as for Greatest Royal Rumble, it was still a good match prior to the double count out. I don't think, honestly, looking at this card, I don't think many of the match outcomes surprised anyone, except maybe our second to last match. And there was also no titles changing hands other than the vacant title going to someone. So it wasn't like a night full of surprises. And talking about the second most obvious match, The Undertaker, he defeated Rusev and Aiden English. I'm saying
and I got the spot I wanted. I asked for them to both be put in the casket, and I got it. Although we got a scary moment before that.
Yeah, everybody's freaking out about Aiden English. There was like people in the crowd saying that he was walking out with the help of like trainers and everybody, and it was worrying for a moment there. But he looks like he's 100%.
Yeah. At the very least, he was able to do TV on SmackDown, so that was a good sign.
I, it's possible because they're not booked for Backlash, right? So we can talk about them. Yep.
Yeah.
So Lana appears to be showing up without her Russian accent and trying to convince Rusev and Aiden English to split up.
Yeah, she might have just basically pulled a Kofi, which might mean in about 5 years she might do a time machine skit.
So she's not called the Ravishing Russian anymore?
I have no clue. It may have been just a mistake on her part. Who knows? We'll know more. I guess more next week on SmackDown. I guess
I like Rusev Day. Why are we splitting them up?
because we're not giving them the tag team titles, so we might as well give them a feud.
Oh, that does get them featured. Maybe. A little bit.
At least it gives Aiden English about a couple more weeks to be featured.
Second to last match, Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, Cage. Now, I'm just going to go off on a bit of a comment here. So I watched the Greatest Royal Rumble with my grandfather. I've said it a few times on the show. We've watched wrestling for ages together and everything, and normally, he's in on it. We got to the end of this match. The finish happened. He was hot for the next day that Brock Lesnar won that by not putting his feet on the floor. I got a feeling if I called him up and mentioned this match right now, he would still be hot.
Yeah, it makes absolutely no sense. And that's what. And in our chat, I proposed Roman Reigns just goes off and walks out because of it. That's what I would do if I was WWE.
The match itself was fine. It was perfectly built. Everything happened. It was cool. Someone's back through the side of the steel cage doesn't count as both feet on the floor. That's never been the rule. But let's change everything.
Yeah, and Roman rolled off and touched the floor first.
Yeah. To help, my grandfather decided to call every time something was stupid in the Royal Rumble, I think like Hornswoggle and stuff like that. It was just like, it's alright, we're playing by Brock Lesnar rules tonight. He was still going off the whole time. But I am now thoroughly of the mindset that Reigns is not taking this title off Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, I don't think anybody is, at least until Money in the Bank, which I think is the day that he will break CM Punk's 435 record.
Whatever. Don't care. If Roman didn't win it at WrestleMania, and if he didn't win it in the cage match in a place like Saudi Arabia to make a big statement, he's not going to win it. Full stop. Now, we're running out of time, but we still got to talk about the greatest Royal Rumble. I'm just going to run down some highlights. Daniel Bryan, 1 hour 16.
Somebody took a meat tenderizer to his chest.
I believe that was Roderick Strong, but
yeah.
God.
Yeah.
Hiroki Sumi, random Japanese sumo wrestler, as far as I could tell. It was what it was, right?
Apparently, because the Saudis had wanted Yokozuna, who's dead.
I know. I didn't want to bring that up. It makes them sound so stupid. Hornswoggle popped in.
That was nice to see him.
Theoretically, never got eliminated.
Actually, he did. The second you touch the top rope.
Okay, so it was the single foot on the top rope as you went over it.
Yeah. As soon as you're on top of the top rope, you are eliminated.
Okay. He only put like one foot up there. Doesn't matter. We don't got time. Tucker Knight from NXT.
That was a little surprise.
I didn't expect it, especially with them being in a tag team. I didn't expect Tucker to pop up. If I'd picked anyone from NXT, there were 3 people that showed up that night that I did not expect. Rey Mysterio. My favorite part is Corey Graves yelling at the other commentators that if they were paying attention to the promotional material, they'd know he was about to show up. That was the best part of Rey for me. Roderick Strong from NXT. Didn't get to see
He
him
had
for
a
long.
strong showing.
Got him for 4 minutes. Whoever Baba Tunde is,
He's he's a former rugby football player that they're training. He's from the I think from the Baltic area or something. I'm not entirely sure, but
I got no clue.
I do know he's in NXT.
Yeah, he showed up. He looked scary. I'd never seen him before. And then Dan Mather showed up, and that was Dan. Hi Dan. Bye Dan. Great Khali. He came in for 30 seconds.
Woo!
Kurt Hawkins. He got biffed out in a funny moment. Don't mess with Braun. Chris Jericho came out. He did his thing for a couple minutes and then got biffed out. That's all anybody ever did in this match. And then Braun Strowman breaks the all-time Rumble elimination record with 13. Sorry, in one Rumble all-time. And wins it. But more importantly, Titus O'Neil fell.
Yeah, I think he should stop participating in the Royal Rumbles. Something bad always happens.
It was great. I didn't notice it to start with. Everybody's laughing. I'm like, what are they laughing at? And the replay hits, and I'm like, that's funny. That's gonna be a GIF.
And it became a Titus worldwide meme.
God damn. If anything deserved it, it was Titus. Sorry, buddy. Alright, well, we better get into song, because we're going to quickly run out of time. So we're going to get into song. It is Bray Wyatt, Matt Hardy, whatever you want to call them. It's their new theme song.
Yeah.
And you're back with Wrestling Roundup on FreeFM and ArrowFM. Grady and Josh, we're still rolling through. Now we've got to get into Backlash. We've got to start previewing this. First up, Braun Strowman, Bobby Lashley teaming up to take on Owens and Zayn. How screwed are Owens and Zayn?
Are we sure Kevin Owens is still has woken up from the drop kick he got from Braun a couple weeks ago? That should tell you how screwed they are.
As I wrote on my predictions for NZPWI, Braun Strowman could take these two on his own. You add Bobby Lashley to that, good luck. They gonna become pancakes, and not the New Day kind. Daniel Bryan, Big Cass.
This should be an interesting match.
I'm crossing my fingers for it.
I'm going with Big Cass to win. The dirty method, which continues the feud.
Okay. It definitely seems like it's hot enough to not be a single match. So
yeah, and you definitely need a little bit to keep Miz and Bryan away from each other for a little while before you build up that feud.
Mm-hmm. The other singles match, Roman Reigns, Samoa Joe.
I'm going with Samoa Joe. Screw it. I don't care anymore.
Oh, maybe Roman Reigns walks out and doesn't show up to Backlash. Maybe. SmackDown Women's Championship, Carmella defending against Charlotte.
Charlotte's going to lose this match, but it won't be by anything that Carmella does.
Yeah. It's going to be Carmella by dirty or interference or something.
Yeah.
No clue just yet what it's going to be. But we'll wait and see. Maybe the Iconic Duo. They seem to be buddy-buddy at the moment. Raw Women's Championship, Alexa Bliss going up against the bully Nia Jax.
I'll give them credit. The Moment of Bliss segments have been absolutely hilarious. Bliss has no chance. We all know that.
What are you talking about?
But this should be should be a decent little match. It's not going to be anything special, but it should be decent.
We're setting the bar real low for this one.
Hmm.
United States Championship, Jeff Hardy versus Randy Orton.
This should be a good match.
Good or great?
I'm setting the bar at good, but I could definitely see great.
I'm gonna go find this. Here it is, a random Reddit thread from user Childish Body Slambino. He points out that Randy Orton and Jeff Hardy have now become, now there's quotes around this because this isn't a real term, Grand Slam opponents. In 2006, the Hardys took on Rated RKO for the World Tag Titles. In 2008, they fought for the Intercontinental title. They also fought for the WWE title. 2018, they fight for the US Championship. It's been a long history between these two. And a whole different amount of belts. I'm across my fingers that Jeff retains here.
Yeah, I expect to see that Jeff retains because I don't think there'd be any point to all the switches if they just put the title back on Randy Orton.
It feels like Randy only got the title so he could complete his Grand Slam. And then he lost it pretty much immediately. And then Jinder only got it so they could do the switches. And now Jeff's got it so he can bring it back. The last few reigns for that title have got to be so short, right?
Yeah, it's time for a little bit longer, and I'm fine with Jeff being champ for as far as mid-card championship.
Yeah. Bobby had it for 54 days, and then Orton had it for 28, and then Jinder had it for 8, and Jeff's now had it for 17 as of recording. So yeah, cross fingers that it works out. I don't know what they'll do in the United States Championship division after Randy Orton, but there's plenty of people chomping at the bit to get an opportunity, and Shinsuke AJ are a little bit busy with the main title at the moment, so always slots open for the United States Championship. Maybe that's where Rusev goes. Maybe. Intercontinental Championship, Seth Rollins versus The Miz. Most obvious match of the night?
Probably, because I don't see them putting both titles on the same brand, and I don't see them bringing Miz back over to Raw.
No. I feel like long term they've committed to bringing Miz to SmackDown and Miz versus Bryan happening at some point. And short term, as you said, US title's already over on SmackDown. There's no reason to switch the Intercontinental over. I don't see the US going back to Raw anytime soon, so there's no reason for the Intercontinental to go this way. You do have the Miz Taraj as a potential factor in this match. Obviously, having betrayed the Miz and trying to side with whoever the hell they can. It's a possibility they get in here and mess around with their old boss to try and get into Seth Rollins' favor. Dunno, but it is an option. Main event, I'm going to cross my fingers it's main event. AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura, no DQ, no holds barred, whatever you want to call it, WWE Championship.
I am going to laugh if it actually turns out to be Joe versus Roman.
Probably will.
This should be a good match. I'm not going to say it's going to be a great one because the first two haven't been great when we expected them to be great.
They were just build-up matches.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see.
I'm going to cross my fingers and I'm going to set that bar at amazing. And they'd better surpass it. The thing is, as we've always known and why we expected the other ones to be great, is that these two can put on great matches. There is no reason, other than the fact that there was going to be a dirty finish, other than the fact that it was going to be a build to a series of matches, there's no reason why they were not great matches. So if this is the end, if this is the title changing to Shinsuke, I want this one to be a great match. And all I can do is cross my fingers. I'm sure there'll be plenty of low blows. I'm sure AJ's wearing a cup. I'm sure AJ will hit a low blow of his own, and it'll be funny and we'll all laugh. But I'm just crossing my fingers that this is a good match. A great match. That's all we can ever really do. And Brock Lesnar's missing, because, you know, he already worked one day this month. Oh, it's a new month, actually. He can work again. Is that not how it works?
No, because he worked 2 days last month.
Ah, so he gets a month off, yeah. My bad, I forgot about that rule. We're going to wait until June 17th to see him back. Alright, well, that's all we got time for. We got through it all. It's been great talking to you.
Maybe.
You can visit our Facebook page, facebook.com/WrestlingRadio, or our Twitter page, twitter.com/WrestlingRadio. And we'll see you next week with the results of Backlash.